Hi, everyone. This is Claudia Brewer from the MBDA Federal Procurement Center team. Thank you for joining us for our FPConnect webinar series. Today's topic, staying relevant to sustain and grow. We're going to be starting in about 2 minutes, so we just wanted to give you a quick heads up, and then we'll start the program in 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us for our FPConnect webinar series. We're going to start the webinar. I want to start off by introducing our director, Tommy Marks. Tommy's a retired member of the Army Senior Executive Service and former director of the Army Small Business Program. Prior to serving as a civil servant, he served 24 years in the Army as an infantry and aviation, retiring as a lieutenant colonel in 2000.
It will help if I unmute as they tap me on my shoulder. So welcome again to our webinar. And Tommy Marks, and we thank you for joining us at the Minority Business Development Agency's Federal Procurement Center webinar. We are operated by the Capital Region Minority Supplier Development Council Consortium, run by Ms. Sharon Pender. And we are federally funded by a grant by the Department of Commerce, their MBDA's Office of for Minority Businesses. So I want to share some things from the Director's Corner with you today that you may know about, but if you don't, it will help you track what the SBA is doing for our community. So two key things. The first one I'll share with you is about the Small Business Innovation Research Program, SBIR, which is SBA's in their 6th year of doing a roadshow. And their roadshows actually to support about $4 billion in federal early stage funding, which is often the critical piece in maturing entrepreneurs for research ideas. And so they will kick those roadshows off beginning in April the 13th to the 17th. Their stops will be Richmond, Virginia, Raleigh, Durham, Columbia, South Carolina, and Atlanta and Athens, Georgia. They'll do a Midwest tour that will run from 1 to 5 June, which stops in Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, Missouri, Champaign, Urbana, Illinois, and Bloomington, Indiana. They'll go to the Rockies and do the Rocky tour in August the 10th through the 14th. Those stops will be in Bozeman, Montana, Idaho Falls, Salt Lake City, and Laramie, Wyoming. And finally, they'll do a Central Southern tour, which will run from the 2nd to the 6th of November, with stops in Jackson, Mississippi, Shreveport, Louisiana, Dallas, Texas, Oklahoma City, and Fayetteville, Arkansas. This information you can find on our website, along with the SBA's website. You can go to my website at MBDA, and this document is posted there, along with going to the SBA.gov website and go to their press releases. The second event that I want to share with you from the SBA talks about funding competition for organizations that provide training to women veteran entrepreneurs. That came out on the 19th of February, and actually is a competition where the SBA is going to make 6 awards up to $300,000. If you're in the training space, they're looking for folks to help them train women veteran entrepreneurs, which include women spouses of veterans. And so that closes on the 19th at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. And you can go to the grants.gov website, and this opportunity is there. So again, you can go to my website, and this memo is posted there as we speak, actually. So you could download it if you're interested in that. Another piece of the SBI program, if you're tracking Department of Defense, especially the Navy has what they call the Technology Acceleration. Back in October, they actually did a phase 1 summit, and I think they awarded it between 50 to 70 awards to phase 1 SBIR participants. In May, on May the 20th, they will have a demonstration day for those folks that got those awards, be able to demonstrate their ideas at NISC in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and compete for about $40 million of SBIR phase 2 money that's there. I did talk with the Navy today, because one of the things I'm interested in was when's the next phase 1, and they're actually having a meeting this week, and will get back to me with that, but we'll put that information on our website. But based on my experience, and their new process, since they did the first one in the fall, and you had to be in that piece, and if you were one of those winners, you're now demonstrating in May. Come the fall of 2020, there'll be another one if they have the funds to support that. So you're talking about some opportunities if you're in the innovation space and looking to help out with some mission requirements that the Navy has. Okay. So what I'd like to do right now is, Claudia mentioned to you, what we're talking about today is our focus is staying relevant to sustain and grow your business. And I first want to apologize that the original folks that we had on the docket had to back out based on some unforeseen things that took place, and not been able to make the scheduling conflicts. So we've been blessed that short notice. And when I tell you a short notice, the gentleman that you're going to hear speak actually signed up about 96 hours ago to pull us out of this lurch that, based on a lot of things that's going on in the world today. So it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Rubin Sloan, who's the CEO of Immersive, and I'm probably butchering his company's name, uh, Immersive Concepts, LLC. Mr. Sloan is a minority-owned 8A and HUBZone certified business, blazing the trails in the DMV since 2011, providing strategic technology, construction, and business solutions to local, state, and federal and commercial customers. He has a roster ranging from local county agencies to Department of Defense, the General Services Administration, and the Food and Drug Administration. Immersive Concepts has established a reputation for their integrity, know-how, and ability to solve problems for their customers that the customer may present. And joining him today is one of his customers, Washington Headquarters Services, which you will hear from later from Miss Janique Hudson, who is the small business specialist with Washington Headquarters Services. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Sloan, and he will share with us how he has grown and sustained his business.
Sure, Tommy. Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you for the time today to share a little bit of my story. And thank you, audience, for joining this conference and webinar as well. Today, I'd like to cover just a few things regarding what concepts we get on our webinar, and also folks joining a little more familiar with who we are and what we do as a company. So I'll cover a little bit about our corporate overview, give you a little glance of Immersive, who we are, and some of our qualifications, a few of our partners and customers, footprint of locations and how we support them, a few of our core competencies that we listed, and also some benefits in that, and as to why Immersive kind of sounds like I may be a sales pitch here in that sense, but what I'm really want to relate to everyone is how we sustain and how we grow, and how we've been able to sustain and grow as a small business in the marketplace. So Immersive Concepts, like Tommy mentioned earlier, we started in 2011. Very interesting. Myself, and I'm one of the managing members. Kevin Roberts is actually CEO of Immersive Concepts. We started as federal government contractors, worked with some of the larger SIs, CSC, a few others. And we realized that we have a very special niche in some of the services that we provide to our customers. Some of those core niches being unified communications. So now, not that National Institutes of Health, that's one of our customers that we recently just gained confidence in to give us a contract as a direct sole source award, leveraging that 8A. So it took us about, I don't know, probably about 8 or 9 years to finally swing back to home base where we started from. But today we have about 27, 28 different federal government customers, ranging from Washington Headquarters Services, Joint Service Provider, MBDA, GSA, a few others, and I'll go through that list a little later.
So we'd like you to hold on for a minute. So two things is you can ask questions as we're going, and we've got a smaller technical thing that we're fixing.
So it says Mr. Marks is coming in loud and clear. Roman needs your mic.
Let me see. We cut the.
Okay, we think we got the volume fixed out there in the webinar land. So Rubin and I are making this film as we go, but there's no cameras in the room. So Rubin, 1, 2, 3. Well, back at you.
There we go. Appreciate it. And thanks again, Tom. So again, like I was saying, and I'll try to speak a little loud. I apologize if my voice is a little soft here. But again, Immersive Concepts. We have a top secret facility clearance. We do support DoD as one of our customers. And we have approximately about 80 plus employees today, continuously growing. So it's a kind of expanding contract for employees out to take on contracts. We're SBA certified HUBZone. That was our original designation of a small business. We are today, still are. And also we're 8A certified through the SBA program, which we do quite a bit of direct awards within government agencies, and also allows us to compete on federal contracts. Oh, interesting enough. There may have been a question asked around what was our overall process for obtaining a facilities clearance. Now that is that's a very interesting question, because it's kind of the chicken and the egg thing. You can't get a DoD contract unless you have a clearance. You can't get a clearance without a DoD contract. So I just used my outside voice to get it. But what we were able to do, we had a great opportunity at FPConnect to survey and some particular services that they had on the classified and unclassified systems. And
So we understand you still can't hear my colleague, my battle buddy. So just give us a moment, and we're going to straighten this out. Thank you for your patience.
Okay, well, I'll just finish up regarding the overall process for obtaining a facility clearance. Like I mentioned, we were surveying and assessing through a supported partner, through a teaming partner. So to answer the question, we were working with another large business, and they needed to leverage some professional services that are part of Immersive's core capabilities. And literally myself, I went down. That was the first start for Immersive, actually. I went down and worked on that particular project and program for about 3 years, funny enough. And through that process, we were able to attain a facility clearance based off of the needs of the government, and also the needs of the particular contract, supporting their requirements. So hopefully that answers your question, and I'll wait for the next one. But until then, I'll continue to talk a little bit more about Immersive. So like I mentioned before, top secret facility clearance, 80 plus employees so far, SBA, HUBZone, Schedule 70, some of our vehicles, ISO certified, which is very important for compliance, and also PMI certified, MBDBE, because we also perform services for state and local agencies as well. Some of our qualifications, as you can see, hopefully on the webinar, if you see them here, you see we're BICSI certified, PM certified, or PMP certified as well as an organization, our clearance, ISO certified. We also have some partners, in particular with our core niches like Crestron, Avixia, and also VBrick, a few others. So our original core competency is unified communications, but as I move a little bit forward, we talked about staying relevant to sustain and grow. You'll see how we started from unified communications and somehow magically ended up with 11 core competencies across the board. So it's all about meeting the requirements and supporting the end user and customer. So some of our partners you'll see here. As a system integrator for those products. So we give our government customers and all of our customers, really, federal, state, and local, a little bit of twist, kind of turnkey, if you will. So we not only provide those services, but we also resell the products. And we have professional relationships and authorized resale relationships with major manufacturers such as Cisco, such as Google Cloud, Extron, Polycom. There's a few others, HP, Microsoft. As part of those authorized reseller profiles that we have and agreements we have, we also have to have certified staff, meaning Cisco certified staff, Polycom certified staff, folks that are under our umbrella from immersive standpoint. They allow us to continue those, to have those direct manufacturer relationships based off of their certifications and also corporate certifications. So we have probably about 30 to 40 authorized reseller agreements and dealers and partner agreements with multiple folks, probably too big to fit on this one slide deck. But if you need any more information, we'll be happy to provide that a little later on. Some of our customers, as you guys can see, hopefully you can, on the webinar, WHS, Janique is in the room with us today. NOAA is one of our customers out of Silver Spring and also out of Miami. Department of Defense, we do quite a bit with them. Department of Treasury, we're supporting OIG right now. And also DOJ, OIG, that's another entity. DAU, FDA, like I mentioned before. HRSA is one of our customers, longtime customer. We've been supporting them for about 7 or 8 years now. So just to give you a little preview into our prime contracts, subcontracts, we have great relationships with Verizon. So we support a lot of their initiatives right now. Department of Labor is one of our main customers. We've been on contract with Verizon Department of Labor for about 3.5 years, performing a regional unified communications deployment of about 27 different sites and locations. So, and some other customers do prime and subs on Encore. Army is one of our customers as well. Unfortunately, we're not a prime on that vehicle, not yet, hopefully soon. But we do perform services for Army as a subcontract. Some of our locations, as you guys can see, hopefully here, you see we're headquarters in DC, office in Miami, and also San Antonio. But what we try to do is overlay some of our supported locations with some of our customer supported sites. So as you can see via the webinar, we're kind of a little bit of everywhere. If you take Department of Justice, they have about 27 different sites as well, similar to DOL that we support. So as we support these sites as a prime and as a subcontractor as well. So I just want to give you an overview of our locations and where we are today. Some of our core competencies, as you can see here, unified communications, like I mentioned before, that's our core niche. That's where we started. We still perform those services. Virtualization solutions goes hand in hand with today's technology. Project management and program management support, technical documentation support, network consulting. Interesting enough, we supported Janique on network assessment for some work project down at the Pentagon. A very interesting project. It was ongoing for about a year. We were able to provide a lifecycle refresh plan to help them move forward. System application integration is one of our tool sets. We've helped GSA actually save about $3 million a year by leveraging some in-house technologies and building an application connector for them for their voice services, tying in Adobe Connect and also tying in some on-prem equipment that they have. So GSA loves us. We actually support them as a prime and as a subcontractor. Configuration management, a very recent win for Immersive Concepts as well, supporting a joint service provider. Construction services. Many people look at a IT company and 8A and HUBZone company, they're like, well, I don't understand how are you doing construction? Part of our core competencies in unified communications is audiovisual implementation. Construction of interior solutions is we're always thought of being the last person in the room. Typically, we're working at about 90%, 95% once drawings is posted. A lot of our customers have asked us, hey, can you guys design or build or support a little more the interior spaces? So based off of that, Prince George's County was one of our very first customers for the CIO's office. We actually uh, stripped his entire room down from beginning to end, uh, implemented core drills, lighting, electrical. That's really how we got started within construction services. From there, we moved into support by way of GSA for construction and interior renovation services, as well as Andrews Air Force Base. So as you can see, our core competencies kind of grew along with trying to sustain and also still trying to grow as part of that. So change management is another one of ours. Facility management, we're supporting, again, Andrews Air Force Base on multiple contracts there as a prime contractor. And training support. That goes along with every IT piece that we support, every project and every program. So that's just a few, as you can see, how our core competencies grew from the very first one for unified communications to actually 11 core competencies and then training and support. So we kind of covered the full spectrum as a value-added reseller, system integrator, and great partner for our customers. Why immersive concepts? The people, really, everything boils to the people. I'm really just a talking face in the head for the organization. It's the people within our organization that really supports us. Like I mentioned before, our certification track that allows us to continue to support our customers, provide that value-added service from program management staff to admin staff to back office staff. Everyone on our team has exceptional knowledge in what we do and the services we provide. Like I mentioned before, leveraging why immersive concepts. This is some of the core values that we mention to our customers. Leveraging, not only our past performance and our solid reputation, excellent CPARs. I like to tout about those because we work very, very hard to have excellent CPARs on every contract. And if anyone hasn't been a prime contractor, that is literally your report card for the entire federal government. So everyone, including Ms. Unique here, everyone across the board as a federal government employee will see how well you perform on similar or just any contract in general. So I would advise you to continue to provide that past performance and make sure that you're performing very well on your contracts. That report card will carry. Empowering our on-site team to bring the highest level of responsibility and to make decisions, to take actions. That's what we do. We try to minimize as much risk as possible going into any project or program. Our project managers take account of that, and we notify the government customers or any of our customers right away. We try to be as transparent as possible and both hands on the table in any one of our projects and programs. So that's kind of why immersive and why us, and I think that's kind of why customers pick us. When someone asked a question online is what qualifications does a subprime need to work with our company? It's really a great partnership. I think of it as a relationship. You want to make sure that you're hitched with the right person, right? In any relationship, whether it's business or whether it's personal or whether it's just friends. As a subprime to us, I think immersive is always looking for people that can provide similar services, but also some services that are a little parallel and maybe not exactly, but more so complementary to the services we perform. I think in that essence, it'll be a great relationship. As a small business, you know, you don't necessarily need a top secret facility clearance in order to work with immersive concepts because we do have contracts that are non DoD specific. But what we look for is more than anything else, be truthful with you, honesty, and just really being transparent with immersive, and also showcasing and specializing in your niche and bringing those qualifications, certifications, and relationships along with you. I think we can all share in those relationships, and it should be a give and take in that. So hopefully I answer your question. If not, please feel free to ask me to clarify, and I'll do so. Accessing our services, like I mentioned before, as an 8A company, that's one vehicle towards us. We do have 8A contracts. We also have Schedule 70 contracts. And funny enough, we also have HUBZone contracts. We've been educating our customers around the deficiencies within HUBZone. I know the government knows, we all know that they haven't been making many awards and they haven't hit their numbers as they need to. But I'll tell you, there are some agencies, as I mentioned before, Department of Treasury, OIG in particular. I have to thank Pamela for this. And Pamela, if you're hearing this, we love you very much. She actually gave us a second HUBZone contract, actually two contracts directly with Pamela supporting OIG for 1 + 4 years. So there are organizations out there. If you're a HUBZone, just know you don't have to be a construction business to be a HUBZone business. We are IT firms successfully in the HUBZone category with direct awards. So with that said, I don't know if anyone else has any questions. I hope I didn't talk over my time limit. As my business partner tells me all the time, I talk way too much. So I'll probably stop now and enjoy the silence unless you guys have any questions.
Rubin, thanks very much. That's very informative, and I'm sure if they don't have any questions now, they'll have some later. We know where you live, and
All right.
we'll get back to you. Okay. So at this time, I'd like to reintroduce Miss Janine. Janine. See, I practiced it before I came in. Miss Janique Hudson from the Small Business Office at the Washington Headquarters Services, and she's going to share with about her organization.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Janique Hudson. I'm the Small Business Specialist with WHS Office of Small Business Programs. And in my everyday duties, I do just about everything underneath the sun. Internally, my customer is the contracting shop. And within the organization, our office reviews all acquisitions $10,000 and above to determine whether they're suitable for small business or not. I support the contracting shop. I also support my program offices. I help conduct market research. I help facilitate 8A capability briefings. We review source of thoughts, RFIs. We prepare evaluations. We sit on source selections. And we are also a service to our small business community. So we meet with vendors inside of our office. We go to outreach. We do trainings. So just about, again, everything underneath the sun. Our customers are internally and, more importantly, externally, my small business community. Right now, we have a couple of needs. One, the more urgent, is janitorial service with everything that's going on. Right now, we are looking for janitorial services, someone with a top secret security clearance to service the Pentagon and other facilities. We also have a need, we have 2 recompetes that are going to be coming out in the near future. One is what is acronym ATAS, Analytical and Technical Support Services. There was an industry day that has already taken place. If you are looking for more information on that, you can find the slides on Beta SAM along with the sources that actually went out. That solicitation should be being prepared now and should be on the street around May. We also have the MAC, which is a multiple award construction contract, which should be being solicited around the first quarter of FY21. Other than that, again, we do meet with small businesses inside our office. We are housed within the Mark Center in Virginia. And if you would like to submit your capability briefing and or request a meeting, you can do so at whs.osvp@mail.mil. Again, it's whs.osvp@mail.mil. So yeah, so our contact information, again, you can reach The office is comprised of 3 individuals, myself, my coworker Tequila Wheeler, and then a director of the office, Mark Gazillo. We all can be reached at that email address also. So again, whs.osvp@mail.mil.
So Ms. Hudson, I want to thank you very much for that information. Also, if I could get you to send me that in an email, I'll put those opportunities on my website, and which will give you another avenue, networks of folks that we work with. That I'm sure there's somebody out there that's got that DOD clearance and would love to come help clean the Pentagon up in more ways than one. Oh, I don't work there anymore, so I guess I can say that. But don't mess with my retirement check. Okay. So, but the at this point, we'll open the floor for questions for both Mr. Sloan and Ms. Hudson, who is still here with us for a little short period. And so I'll pause as we do that. What I'll share with you is that we're looking at this. This was the last in a series of our webinars, but working with my boss, Ms. Sharon Pender, we're trying to convince our headquarters at MBDA that we can have some more seminars, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you some more where we're bringing the quality of folks that we've come accustomed to, both. In fact, when I opened up, what I failed to say was that our guests, invited guests that weren't able to make it, was the Center of Disease Control, and of course, you know what they're doing right about now across the country to try to keep us safe. And so Miss Gwendolyn Miles, which we're going to reach back to her and see if we can still get CDC in the future to come and provide us some information about their $6.5 billion that they award annually, with a great portion of that going to small businesses. So that we're going to continue to work that piece. If there's something that you really liked about our seminars, our webinars, please let us know. We're always looking for ways to improve, and we take that information. Please fill out the survey at the end, which helps us also as we continue to provide this type of information. Can I please state the address of WHS? So Washington Headquarters Services, where Ms. Hudson works, I think she said they're out of the Marks Center, which is located in Alexandria, Virginia. If you Google Washington Headquarters Services, is really the most accurate way to get that address, and it's on that. You'll pull up their website, and but it's located off of, physically, if you know the DMV, it's located off of 395. If you're coming from the south, you pass before you get to the Pentagon. You can't move. It sticks up like a storm on the side of the road. And if you're going south on 395, you're right next to it, and it's at Seminary Road. And as soon as you get off the freeway, just look to your left. You're looking at the Marks Center, which is a government facility that if you don't have an appointment, I'm going to tell you that it's tough to get in the building without having an appointment for the people you need to see. So go to that WHS website. They've got instructions there on how to get an appointment with the small business office, and then they can ensure that you get through security. And when I say it's tough to get in, not just for non-government people, even if you have a government CAD card and you don't work there, it is takes an act of Congress to get in the Marks Center, across from the Hilton off of Seminary Road. One day I'm gonna grow up and be a DJ. All these instructions. Okay. There was a question about how long does the 8A process took, I think it was to Mr. Sloan once he submitted his application. Uh, Here's what I can tell you about the 8A process. I'm not sure when you did yours, because there was a time when it took up to a year to get applications processed. And so when I took over a small business in 2015, SBA was taking about a year to 18 months to process 8A requests. That has actually changed. Uh, that has been drastically reduced. But the best thing to do is go to sba.gov. They've got an 8A section there, and you can contact those folks, and they can give you, real live data today, what it's taking them based on if your packet is complete. That's the variable a lot of times. But we know it was definitely a long struggle um, several years ago, but that has changed. Okay. So for people that are tracking the things to do and where to go and where to have fun, now I'm not going to tell you bring your money and gamble at Horseshoe Casino, but Ms. Sharon Pender and crew from the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council, we're hosting a super matchmaker conference on the 26th of March, 8:30 to 5 at the Horseshoe Casino. One-on-one matchmaking sessions, corporate roundtables, uh, industry industry focused pitch mania. And in fact, I work for a lovely lady that I can't get enough work. So we're going to do a panel there with federal agencies. And I know she's beaming in the background right now. Armo will get counsel when this is over. But we have the Navy, we have Transportation Security Agents Administration, and we have Defense Health Agency. Cassandra Martin, small business guru there. Uh, uh, Arvis Washington at the Navy, and Evelyn Tyndall out of TSA. And they're going to actually, before they do corporate roundtables, they're going to actually do a panel where we discuss opportunities to do business with those agencies. 26 March, 8:30 to 5, Horseshoe Casino, 1525 Russell Street in Baltimore. If you know where that is, put in your GPS, go to the Raven Stadium, you can't miss it. And you can register now, actually, at www.crmsdc.org. Again, www.crmsdc.org. See you there. Let's see. Yesterday it was 70 degrees. Today it wants to freeze again. So our bodies are going crazy. Now you're asking, why am I talking about that? Well, I have nothing else to talk about right now. So I thought I'd give you the weather. I got one more question. Oh, excuse me. See, I turned the paper upside down. Miss Hudson mentioned technical opportunities. Please elaborate on the technical opportunities coming up.
There is one technical opportunity. The information you can find on Beta SAM. Again, it's ATAS, ATSS, Analytical and Technical Support Services. There was a sources sought that was issued. There was an industry day that was held. And you can find all the information for that requirement on Beta SAM.
So here's another upcoming event that you want to put on your calendar. Save the date, 6 through 8 April, Navy Sea, Air, and Space at the National Harbor. What's really unique about it is on the 7th of April is their Small Business Day, all day dedicated to small businesses. So if you're interested in Navy opportunities, Sea, Air, and Space at the National Harbor, 6 through 8 April. Additionally, down at the Washington Convention Center, the annual United States Government Annual Procurement Conference. And oh, by the way, the MBDA Federal Procurement Center will have a table there all day. Come down and see me. So we got a question that says, what advice could you give to grow your small business? So not sure who you want to answer that. Come on, Mr. Sloan, you're up.
Thanks, Tommy, for the handoff. So, what advice would you give to grow your small business? I'll tell you. I think Tommy just really just mentioned it. We started out with I think like one contract at the very beginning, and it was tough breaking into the government sector. But I tell you what we did. One of our customers, Nuclear Regulatory Commission, we have about 4 or 5 contracts with them right now. It took us 3 years of courting them, and literally we followed them around like kind of trolling them around to each matchmaking conference that we could find that they were at. Um, so the advice I would say is find your niche in exactly what you do. Find a customer that has those needs. Go online, perform your research, look at the forecast. Always check the forecast. Meet with your Aussie pools. Talk to them. Build a relationship with them. Work with them to see if they can put you in front of the program management folks so that you'll be able to kind of showcase your small business goals. But make sure that more than anything else, what you're showcasing aligns with the customer's mission more than anything else. Without that, you won't get a head start. So hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, so hey, we're back live at WFPC. So look, if you are interested in some good competition and expanding your network, be on the lookout for the top 100 minority business enterprises nominations coming soon from the Capital Region Minority Supply Development Council. So if you're aware of those and you're ready to really get recognized, hey, keep on the lookout. The second thing is, if you're a golfer, and my handicap is like 1,000, the golf tournament, our annual golf tournament, led by our president, and she challenges all of you, is June the 1st. Come on out and join us. More information to follow. Okay. So I got a note that said, no questions. Thanks for putting together a great job. Hey, well, we thank you, because without you out there listening, we're talking to ourselves. Now we know we really were not talking to ourselves. So thanks much. Pass the word. Okay. So I'm going to close. Again, I'm going to thank everybody that registered and signed in. All the information provided today that Mr. Sloan talked about, his slides are on the website. The SBA information that I shared is on our website, and I'm working with Ms. Hudson, and because she definitely was a really last minute ad. You got to understand, we all came from DOD, and you got to get a clearance on top of a clearance just to lead a building. And so I want to thank her boss publicly, Mr. Mark Gazzillo, who allowed her to be with us today, because she had to go through. If you don't know about it, you got to go to the public affairs guys, the lawyers, just to come out and say we got these opportunities, which is public knowledge if you go to FPDSNG to begin with. But that's kind of how we work. And so, but again, appreciate everybody coming out and helping us make this a success. And on behalf of my boss, Sharon Pender, again, Rubin and Janique, thanks very much for being with us today. So we're going to sign off. WFPC, but not forever. We'll be back.